Hello everyone, welcome back. In this week's video, I work on cleaning up the house and preparing it for a birthday party that we're having for my daughter. So there is lots of cleaning to do, and I will also be sharing some party preparation as well. If you haven't been here before, my name is Sarah. I'm a wife and a mom to 2 girls and a new baby boy, and he's wonderful. But it does make things a little bit more difficult to get done around the house. So whenever I'm hosting a party, I start cleaning random things. I don't know if you do this too. Like, for example, this area is above the microwave, and I noticed that it gets very greasy because it's above the stove, and the wall is all covered in grease, and there's like dust stuck to it, and it's just really nasty. So I climbed up on the chair, and I'm trying to scrub this grease off from the wall, and then there's this empty spot above the microwave as well that's covered in grease and dust. And clearly nobody's going to see this. But these are the kinds of things I do before we have a big party. I find the most random things to focus my attention on and to clean. But it makes me feel better getting some of this grime up. And of course, having the open shelves, all of the grease and stuff gets on everything. It really is a bummer not having any cabinet doors, because you can see the grease just and dust just stuck to everything. So all this stuff on the shelves, I mean, other than the things that we use all the time, those always get washed, you know. So these things that don't get used as often, I do have to take down, and I do wash them regularly. And I also have to wipe the shelves down too. But it's like those higher up places I don't always get to. So I'm just washing these. I'm going to put them back. And then, so now my focus is a little bit more focused to where it needs to be, because we're going to be having a pool party for my daughter in our indoor pool. So this room is our pool room, and this is the only room in the house that has not been repainted since we've been here for the past 9 years. And this room is looking pretty dingy, and there's like drips, dirty drips on the wall. I know that sounds gross, but I think it's like dust that gets wet from the moisture of when the pool's open and when kids are splashing, and I think that's what it is that's on the walls. So I'm trying to scrub off trying to clean the dirty walls and scrub off any of the really obvious stuff. Of course, I'm the only one that notices. I'm sure nobody else is going to know. We're just having 8 kids over, plus my 2 girls makes for 10 kids. So I am going to paint because, you know, this is another one of my random projects. So I'm wiping all the dust off from the moldings and everything where I want to paint, because, I mean, I can't obviously repaint the walls, but I want to touch up some of the moldings just to freshen it up a bit. Oh, and my air plants needed a little bit of water there. So we have extra white paint in the basement. And these pajama pants are my painting pants, apparently, because I didn't have anything else that was suitable to wear for old, potentially getting them stained up. So pajama pants it is. So I started this project in the evening, which was not the best idea because it is difficult to paint and to see what you're doing in the evening with all the shadows. But I wasn't too stressed about it because I was just really just going over the white with more white. I wasn't doing anything really super important painting wise, but I was just wanted to give, like, this window especially needed a fresh coat of paint. It's just, I mean, it has a bunch of old paint on it from over the years, but just something about that bright white, it just makes it feel fresh again. And my husband always makes fun of me. There's a story from back when I was graduating high school. So this was 2003. And my mother was hosting my graduation party. So she decided, like, the week before that she wanted to repaint the living room because we were going to be having company over, of course. So he always jokes that we have to paint something before we have a party. So this is the other windowsill. And I don't know why, maybe because this one's closer to the pool, it just looks really faded. And the lighting was not my friend because I was like trying to tell where I had painted, and I was like, I think I painted here, but I can't totally tell. And then I was like, oh, sidetracked. And then I saw the wicker basket sitting right next to me. I was like, this looks a little beat up. Why don't I touch this up with some paint too? So I just spent a few minutes kind of giving this a little freshening up. I didn't like completely go over the whole thing. I just tried to touch up some of the rougher spots on that. And then these windowsills are on the other side of the pool room. And these, my plants sit on over on this side. And the window moldings, like all the way up and around these windows, actually looked fine. I don't know if we repainted these more recently or what, or because they don't get as wet because they're farther away. But they looked fine. So really I was just doing the windowsill. And then this, yeah, see, this is when it was getting hard with the lighting and shadows to see what I was doing. But since I was just doing the windowsill, I wasn't too worried about it. Anything was better than the way it was. So I was like, that feels better. So this other one has my other plants on it, and this one is definitely in rougher shape. I usually have about 3 or 4 plants on this side, and they don't sit on the bare wood, but they have been knocked over before by somebody, Mr. Phoenix. So now we're getting to the tricky spot. Now, I'm not entirely sure how this was done originally, but I'm going to walk along the little ledge because I think I can get to this one here under the window very carefully. I'm just going to walk backwards and just touch up because this gets so wet. It really needs to be sealed better. Some of the paint is flaking off. But the far window in the corner by the pool, yeah, I'm not going to attempt to get to that one. I think maybe we'll need to paint that when we're actually in the pool itself. I repainted all the molding along the bottom here, on this wall, and around the window, and around the sliding glass door as well.
and around that window over there, because that one was really dingy and gross, and especially that baseboard as well. And I also touched up that wicker little basket thing that we have some pool supplies in. So that looks so much better. Freshens it up a lot. Doesn't look quite as old and dingy. Tried to clean some of the walls as well. And then on this side, the moldings really weren't as bad. We're still gonna get to the other one over there, but you can see Priscilla's sitting over here. And then these ones, I only did the windowsills on this side. Because around the molding around the windows really didn't look that bad. It looks fine actually. So that makes a big difference. So I feel better about things. I mean, the walls are still pretty. The lighting is hard to tell, but they've never been repainted since we've been here. We're gonna need to probably hire somebody to do that. My husband and I are not skilled enough to see. There's actually a skylight up there. And trying to paint like over the pool just seems like something I'm not really skilled to do, so I'm not going to attempt it. It's got high ceilings, the skylight, and then trying to get to all that stuff above the pool. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I hate to pay somebody, but I also don't think I would actually be able to do it without making a terrible mess or getting injured somehow. So this is how the ceiling looks from this angle. There's a lot of track lighting. The people that lived here before really liked getting lighting from IKEA, even though we have no IKEA around here. But they would travel, and that's where they got the lighting from. But it works well. We've never had to replace a bulb or anything, so, and it's been 9 years. This one isn't too bad, but this one on this side seems to be somebody's favorite afternoon nap spot. So I'll wipe this off and get it all cleaned up.
This is my little trick that I like to do because I just think it's easier and faster, is to just put the vacuum itself up onto the cushions, because you get that full vacuum sucking power rather than me trying to use the little handheld vacuum, which I don't think is quite as strong. I just think it does a better job, and so I just do it that way. And then this is a ruggable that we have out by the back door. So this I threw into the wash, and cleaning up all the cat food that they make such a terrible mess with, always all over the floor. I don't know why they make such a mess with it, but every day there's crumbs. So this ruggable isn't too bad to put back down because it's small, but when I try to do the large one for the living room, which is the 8 by 10 foot size, I believe, that one is much more challenging because you get all the wrinkles and you're trying to smooth it out, and that is very hard with such a big rug. You definitely need 2 people to do that one. So now it's almost, let's see, I think it's 2 days before the party now. And so I'm going through bathrooms, putting away all the random things that don't belong. The kitchen I'm kind of waiting on because, and then here's another random thing of me cleaning the boot tray, which 8 small children are not going to notice or care, but this is my husband's like, why don't you focus your energy on a more important area? But it makes me feel better. So while I have a bit of time today and the baby is content playing, I'm just going to finish going through the other bathrooms, putting out new towels. And well, now he needs a little attention, so we take a little baby break for him so he can eat, and then now he's back to playing. He loves sitting in his exerciser. So fun.
So it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and my husband and I just finished making a backdrop for my daughter's birthday party. So it cost $3.75 to make because I had 3 different rolls of streamers from the dollar store, $1.25 a piece, and I used them to make a ocean underwater backdrop. So I got the like turquoise blue, baby blue color are my waves, and then I have the lime green, and then like the Christmassy forest green that I alternated to make the seaweed at the bottom. So that will be our cute little backdrop for our mermaid birthday party. Very cheap and affordable, and my husband also made extra decorations. He cut out some poster board, and then he glued some random pieces of cardstock we had over top that can hang up. And he made a starfish. And these are the graphics that I used to make the invitations. So he used that, and he created a 3D mermaid out of poster board and construction paper. He's pretty talented. So we'll hang this up on this wall here. The kids can take their pictures there. I think they look pretty cute. And it was literally under $10 to make all of that. So that's what I like. That's what we're going for.
So my daughter and I were on Pinterest, and she saw a bunch of cute things that she wanted to make for her birthday party. So we got these orange slices, toothpicks, peach rings, and we're making cute little crabs. It's not too hard, right? For our underwater mermaid mercat party. So we just had some googly eyes, and we hot glued them onto toothpicks. The hardest part was finding the orange slices and the peach rings, because I always used to get them at the dollar store, and for some reason lately we have not been able to find orange slices at all. So it took a little bit more hunting to find them, but we found them at like a local store. So I didn't mind this project. It turned out really cute, and it wasn't too hard to do. Oh, these are food tents that I made. I have these in my Etsy shop. Editable food tents with all of the graphics on it for her theme, because of course she's obsessed with cats. So I made the banner for her party, and I make all of these things like in my Etsy shop as well. The food tents, the banners, the favor tags, the signs, all that stuff. That's kind of what I do. This other idea she found was to make these seashells, and I found these shell cookies at Walmart. They actually were really good. They were lemon flavored. And then I just put in some frosting, and some little sixlets were what we found for the oysters. And then we had our seaweed and our driftwood pretzels, and we had some veggie sticks for seaweed. And then we also found some green apple licorice, which was really yummy. And I also skewered some grapes onto wooden skewers, and those were also some coral. And then we had our favorite baker make the birthday cake for her, and it turned out so cute. So it ended up being a really great party. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.